Hey, what's going on, my friend? It's Jeff Newpert from ChasingStrength.com. And in today's video, we are going to answer the question, how to lose 45 pounds or 20 and a half kilos in about 4 weeks using just kettlebell workouts. What? Yeah, that's right. That's not a slip of the tongue, a typo, or whatever you want to call it. That is truly what we're going to discuss. How to lose 45 pounds in about 4 weeks, right? We got our air quotes there. And the reason we're going to do this is because that was one of the results that one of my customers, Laurence, described when I asked him about how Kettlebell MAXIMORUM, one of my kettlebell training programs, worked for him. Now, how did he do that? Well, here's what he said in his email, and we've copied and pasted it and flashed it up here on the screen. He said, I had a severe cough during the time due to bronchitis, which lasted about 4 weeks and killed my appetite. Then couple that with intermittent fasting, I lost over 40 pounds from 285 down to 240 pounds in about 4 weeks. Yeah, man, that's pretty mind blowing. So let's break that down. Number one, Laurence got sick, which I don't recommend for anybody, and I'm sure Laurence wouldn't recommend that either. Number two, as a result, Laurence lost his appetite, and number three, he coupled that with intermittent fasting, right? Which in most cases for most people is a decrease in total calories consumed on a daily and weekly basis. Okay. So it's pretty simple, but I wouldn't recommend combining those three. And that's because number one, you'd have to get sick and remain sick with bronchitis for about 4 weeks. So, Laurence, man, that dude's a stud, right? I mean, can you imagine training 4 days a week with bronchitis, like being sick, coughing and hacking, right? I can't personally, but good for Laurence. And number two, as we saw, your results will be mixed. So here's what happened to Laurence, right? He said, the mixed results during that time is my strength went down drastically. Okay. And that's par for the course. That's usually what happens when you combine sickness plus rapid weight loss. Now, here's why I'm sharing this with you. I've had 3 different private clients over the last month tell me they want to dial in their nutrition, right? So, we're using air quotes here on this channel. So dial in their nutrition. It's about their words. 2 want to do it specifically to lean out, and the third to prevent type 2 diabetes and dump some body fat from around the stomach area. And I thought since they were up for that, and I've seen some forum posts on the subject, and well, it's perfect timing, right? It's New Year. Everybody wants to dump some fat, lose weight, whatever you want to call it this time of year. Well, this may be on your mind too. So while it is true you can strip off body fat using just kettlebells, you have to know how to program correctly or program your workouts or your training programs correctly, which of course most people don't, right? So any old workout won't do because you can actually do too much. And this is what happens to most people, which then triggers a stress response from your body, which simultaneously creates that tired, exhausted feeling, which in turn makes you feel hungry, right? I'm sure you've never done that before. That's never happened to you because I know it's never happened to me. And I've only read about it in urban legends and myths, right? Anyway, look, I think we can both agree that extra tired and extra hungry are great ways to go nowhere, or worse, to actually gain some body fat, which is obviously not what we are attempting to do here. So both of those outcomes just leave you frustrated and discouraged. That's again why I'm bringing this up. So let's learn from what Laurence did successfully. Okay. So we want to do 3 things. Number one, we want to suppress our hunger or our appetite. Number two, we want a manageable way to reduce total calories. And yeah, you can use intermittent fasting if you like. And number three, we want to do this without the negatives that Laurence experienced, which is very common to many people who lose weight quickly. And that is drastically losing strength, right? So in order to achieve these goals, these 3 goals, I recommend using a concept called supportive nutrition. Now, what's supportive nutrition? You may have heard of it, you may not. I'm betting that most people haven't. If you're like most people, you probably haven't, in fact. So supportive nutrition, it's eating in such a way that, number one, provides enough fuel for your body to use. Not too much, but enough. Number two, it provides the right nutrients for optimum functioning, okay? Number three, it keeps your hunger in check, which means it suppresses your hunger, okay? Number four, it coaxes your body to burn more fat than normal for fuel, right? When you exercise and when you're not exercising. And number five, it burns off stored carbs or carbohydrates at the right time. And that's why inside Kettlebell MAXIMORUM, which again is the program that Laurence used, I show you how to structure a supportive nutrition plan for you using one simple eating method you can start using today, right? You'll also find 4 different variations of that plan. First variation is to build muscle. The second is for recomposition, which is burning muscle. Burning muscle. We don't want to burn muscle, right? We don't want to do that. It's burning fat and gaining muscle and getting stronger in the same time period. So it's a slower process than traditional fat loss programming. So that's recomposition. Number 3 is traditional fat loss programming. And number 4 is what I call rapid fat loss programming. Okay. So if you want to strip off body fat, I recommend you use 2, 3, or 4. Now, let's address the elephant in the room here. Will you lose 45 pounds in around 4 weeks like Laurence? Yeah, I highly doubt it. Okay. Nor would you probably want to. How much can you drop is really the question that might be rolling through your head right now. Well, that's really up to you and your number 1, your desire. Number 2, your commitment. Number 3, your consistency in training and following the supportive nutrition program as outlined. And number 4, which is related to number 3, your ability to actually follow directions and not change them or make stuff up as you go along. All right. So I think it's just important to note that folks strip off body fat using Kettlebell MAXIMORUM without following any of the nutrition portion of the plan, simply because of the programming, right? And that's assuming their goal is not to bulk up and they're not actually eating more, which actually happens to some people using Kettlebell MAXIMORUM. So at the end of the day, right, or at the end of this video anyways, depending on when you're watching it, could be the end of the day, could be the beginning of the day, but you know what I'm saying, right? If you need a simple supportive nutrition plan, not a diet, but a supportive nutrition plan, right? Something that keeps you from feeling hungry all the time, like you want to gnaw your arm off, okay, that you can follow so you can lean out while getting stronger and more muscular, then I recommend you grab a copy of Kettlebell MAXIMORUM. Okay, I will leave a link in the description below. And once you get it, turn to page 45 to get started. All right. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, click the like button, click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and drop me a comment or 2 in the comments area below. Let me know what your experience has been with dieting and kettlebells and fat loss and so on and so forth. All right. Until next time, my friend, stay strong.